challenging time, so if everyone would please turn off your cell phones, especially Brittany who likes to play words with friends while I'm trying to talk. I appreciate it. Turn off the cell phones. You can live without it, but for now. Alright? Alright. Are you guys glad that you got to park in my yard today? Yay! I'm so happy that there was no rain. Alright. I know that there's at least one person here who had a birthday this week. So Jared, stand up. It's not me! Stand up! Stand up! I'm so glad! Stand on the chair. Who else had a birthday? Anybody? Stand on the chair. I'm going to fight. This better one is people can see. Anybody else? Yes, there are 3 bears. Jackson, very same Jackson. Happy birthday. Here with you. All right, you guys are ready? Yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, rise above earth. Happy birthday to you. And Michaela had a birthday too. She's not here, so I just want to recognize her. She's probably out here. Did you guys? Hey! Hey! You have your turn to talk. It ain't your turn yet. Hang on. Did you guys see our new sign back there? Yeah! Is that awesome? Brittany's friend Mallory made that for us, so we appreciate that very much. I love that. Very fun. Okay, how many people do we have here for the first time tonight? Got newbies? Stand up if you're a newbie. Stand up. Oh, how about newbies come to the front? Come to the front. Step to the back.
Excuse me. Could you move over just a little bit? Thank you.
Get up here. Sit your newbie up here. Come on, you're a newbie too. Get up here. Take it. This is my dad brought a newbie tonight, guys. Awesome or what? All right, so we're going to meet our newbies. Everybody be quiet so we can hear. All I want you to say is what your name is and what school you go to, okay?
My name is Bree and I am homeschooled.
Okay, what grade are you in? Fourth. Soccer for you. Welcome, Bree.
My name is Layla and I'm in the word will.
Layla, what grade are you in? 4th grade. Welcome. You are? Sammy, what grade are you in? 5th grade. Welcome.
I'm Arbor and I'm homeschooled in 6th grade.
Arbor, isn't that a beautiful name? Yes. Awesome.
My name is Ricky and I go to LU.
This is Ricky, and she goes to LU. Welcome to Ricky.
That's
Last but not least, we have.
I'm Rick.
Hi, Rick.
School Hard Knocks.
Thank you. All right. I would like. This is Boo Bear. And that's Boo Bear. Okay, welcome Boo Bear. Oh, I don't even care. I would like to make a change to something that I told you guys before. So would Alexis Reynolds, Amanda Dorsey, Chelsea Hott, and Rosie Fox please come to the front? Go, Alexis! What did you do, Alexis?
All right, that's the same.
What did you do to your hair? I would like
It's
to
gorgeous.
ask Caitlin Rochelle, did you do the week's challenge? Yes. You can come up front too. Katie Larimer, did you do this week's challenge? Up front? Get up there! Paige Rochelle, where is she? Did you do the challenge?
What was it?
The challenge was, what was the challenge?
Step out of your box!
Yeah, to change your day up and do things different for a day.
Yeah,
Did you do that? Okay, stand up here. And Waylon,
Yeah.
did you do the challenge? I have decided that 7 is too many, so we are going to go to 5. You need 5 meetings and 5 challenges in order to get one of the new fabulous Rise Above bracelets that everyone wants. Congratulations. Katie got a crumb. So for the rest of you who really want one of these fabulous cool new bracelets, because I have 200 of them, so there's no shortage, okay? For those of you who want a fabulous cool new bracelet like this, all you have to do is come to 5 meetings. You've already come to 1, so all you gotta do is come to 4 more and do your challenge every week. That's all there is to it. Challenges are not hard, but that's what's holding up a lot of you guys. Because you come, but you don't do your challenge. So make sure that you sign in the back, because that's what I go by when I mark things down. Okay? You know you want one. You cannot buy these in the store. Alright. Now, everybody who did the challenge, whether you got a bracelet or not, stand up. Give yourselves a hand. This is the reason you should do your challenge. Some weeks you get nothing but an hand glass. Some weeks you get something cool, like gum. Or a Is it going to be enough there, Miss Brittany? have Brad to thank for that because I usually just grab chocolate because that's what I like. But Brad says, "Oh, so thank you. Thank you.
I don't understand.
So thank you guys for doing your challenge. It's important to me that you listen to me enough to do that challenge every week. Okay? It's important to me because it's becoming something that's important to you. Yes, pass them around. All right. Now, I want you to be quiet. Do we need more chairs, guys? Yeah. We can get a few more chairs.
We have some.
There's some there. There's
Because I see people sitting on laps, so. Okay. Let's get into the bulk of the meeting here. I want to start off by giving you guys a quote. Somebody sent this to me on email today, and I thought that it was really good. It says a lot about what we stand for at Rise Above. It says, when I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. I found it was difficult to change the world, so I tried to change my nation. When I found I couldn't change the nation, I began to focus on my town. Couldn't change the town, and as an older man, I tried to change my family. Now, as an old man, I realized the only thing I could change is myself. And suddenly, I realized that if long ago I had changed myself, I could have made an impact on my family. My family and I could have made an impact on our town. Their impact could have changed the nation, and I could have indeed changed the world. So, it says author unknown. So I don't know who actually said that, but I thought it was really good. That's what we focus on here. We're not trying to change the world yet. We're trying to change ourselves. And that change is going to go outward and outward and outward. So when we change ourselves, we're going to change our schools. We're going to change our communities. We're going to change our towns. We're going to change Ohio, our nation, and the world. Okay? We have big hopes for Rise Above. And each week that you guys come and you do your challenge and you listen to what goes on, each and every week you're becoming a part of that change. Okay? So give yourselves a hand. So for those of you who didn't get candy, I'm sorry. Let me repeat to you what last week's challenge was. Last week's challenge, we were to step out of our comfort zone and try as many new things as possible. All in one day if you could. Let me tell you a little bit how my day went. I did lots of things different. I wore different clothes, different style of clothes. I actually dressed up in heels and a dress and all that. It was not fun. I hated it. But I did it because I wouldn't ask you guys to do something that I wouldn't do myself. Okay? So I went to work all fancy schmancy, which ain't me. And I did my hair different. Instead of like this, I had it all pulled back like this. It looks pretty silly, especially when it's curly like Rosie's. I curled it too. And let's see, I ate something different for breakfast. I had a different kind of coffee when I stopped to get my coffee.
How was the rap music?
Yeah, rap music makes my ears bleed. Yeah. I'm going to say that. Instead of listening to Christian or country, which is what I normally listen to, I listen to rap. I listen to political talk radio, and I listen to some alternative music, and I found out that actually I kind of like Pearl Jam. So there was some things that I tried that was fun, and I ended up liking those things. And as a matter of fact, when I got home, I found this little hat of Lauren's, like this little beanie hat. Oh my gosh, it was too funny. And I put it on, and I looked so dumb in it, so dumb. But I was like, whatever, I don't care, I'll just put it on. And Ben came home and showed me how to properly wear it, but I still looked dumb. So anyways, it was cool though, because I wore it the whole rest of the night. I was like, I don't care. Whatever it takes to be different, I'm going to be different. So it was really, it became fun to try to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. Now, did any of you guys try that and find that it became fun the more that you did it? Really? Okay, that's good. I had a couple of people on our Facebook page that actually said, I want to do this for more than one day. You know, because it became fun to, at first it was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. But then after a while, you're like, okay, what can I do that's different? What can I do that's different, you know? And it became really fun to try new things. So if you didn't do last week's challenge, try it this week, okay? There's nothing that says you can't do the challenges on a different week, all right? So if you see a challenge, which I always post them, if you see a challenge that you didn't do, try it. You might just find something that you like, okay? Now, this week, before we get into this week, I want to tell you we had 49 last week, okay? Pretty good, we're up from the week before. We had 5 newbies, which we already have more than that today, so that's awesome. And we had 14 people do the weekly challenge, and I think we had more than 14 tonight, so that's awesome. Now, we also learned too when we were coming out of our comfort zone last week, that we should pay attention to our morals and our conscience, okay? Did you guys remember to do that when you did your challenge? You didn't do anything that was against your morals or your conscience, did you? Okay. Now, did you practice at all this past week listening to that little voice inside? Did anybody practice that? I know a couple people did, because I saw some posts on Facebook that said that people were actually starting to listen to that. I want you to be conscious of that this week, okay? When you start to do something or you start to say something and you don't feel quite right about it, something doesn't feel right, make the choice not to do that, okay? That's your conscience. The more you listen to your conscience, the easier it's going to be to make better decisions. Now, I want to introduce you guys to this little book right here. And so far it has nothing in it, but I'm going to set it back on the table, and every week I want this book to be for what you guys think about this group. I want suggestions. I want what you love about this group. I want what you hate about this group, okay? I want what's bothering you and what you think we need to work on, problems, suggestions, what you're struggling with, anything you need to say, okay? And each week I'm going to take a look at this book, and this is going to help me decide where we need to go with this group, okay? So we're going to put it back there tonight. You guys can fill it out when you're finished if you want to, or you can wait till next week. Is this for somebody? I need a chair though. So,
That's the first thing I was.
that was my favorite. Thank you for the beautiful picture. We were writing, but I need to get rid of it right now. First of all, I want to know who remembered to bring their money for Hope for Hunter. Okay, I'm going to pass the basket around. Everybody's supposed to bring $1 every week. We're going to collect for Hope for Hunter, okay? Hunter has muscular dystrophy. We're trying to raise some money. So pass it around just like you would at church. Just take it and pass it to the next person, all right? When you're done, pass it back up front. And don't you be taking none either, okay? Because I'm watching.
Do that.
Maybe you can be the usher. We got usher? It's always her. Thank you, guys. Okay, while we're doing that, I'm not quite sure how we're going to be able to do this, but I want to see if there's any way that we can kind of make this room into more of a circle this week. Can you guys kind of move your chairs a little bit so that
Sorry.
Okay?
Bye, Ben.
All right.
That's my friend.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Car keys are on the floor. Who needs to pick up? Oh, no, they're mine. It's all right. Just get up there. Yeah, whose trash is that, y'all? Alex. That is not mine. Mine is back here. Is that your keys? Come on, guys. No, my keys. Somebody pick up the trash. Whoever's keys it is needs to pick up the trash. Well, you can pick up my keys for me. Okay. Thanks, Waylon. That's all right. Thank you, ladies. All right, guys. So the reason that I want us to be in a circle today is because I'm not teaching tonight. I'm listening. Okay. I want to start this off. This is going to be an open forum tonight, and we have never done this before. So what we need to do is make sure that we're giving the person who is speaking our respect by keeping our mouths closed and listening to who is speaking, okay? It's very important. And the reason is because sometimes you can lose what I have to say, which is fine, because I'll say it 600 times, and I'm sure you'll get it one of the times. But someone else may be speaking who really needs to be heard, and maybe they're only going to say it once. So we need to make sure you'll each have your turn, okay? But no side conversations, please. Now, what made me decide to do this week is because I have had a really, really bad week. Not every day has been bad, but as many of you know, my daughter Lauren was killed in a car wreck 6 months ago, okay? And all of you guys have really looked to me for the last 6 months to be strong, and every time I post something on Facebook that says I'm having a bad day, everybody says, be strong, Mama, we love you, be strong, be strong. And I want to let you guys know that I am strong, but sometimes I struggle. And this week I've been struggling, and I've been very, very sad. And that's apparently normal for this point in the game. It gets harder before it gets better. But I wanted to be able to let you guys know that it's okay sometimes to struggle with things. It's hard for me to sit here and tell you that because I know that you expect me to be strong. But at the same time, it's important that you guys realize that if I'm not always strong, you don't have to be either. And I know that each and every one of you guys struggle with something. I saw a couple of you come in tonight and tears in your eyes already, saying that you were having a bad night and you just felt down. And I want you to know that's okay. We come to this group to learn things, to become better people, but we also come to this group to support each other. And so I want you to know that each week that you come and you hug me, and each week that you come and even if you don't hug me, it supports me and it helps me. And I thank you for each and every one of you guys that come. But now it's your turn to help each other. And so we're going to sit and we're going to each have a chance to say something. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. And if this is your first time, I'm sorry, we don't normally do things this way. You'll have to come back and see how we normally do it. But what I want you to say is pretty much anything that's on your mind within reason. I need to know what you're struggling with, what is easy for you or is becoming easier for you since you've been coming to this group. Some of the problems that you're having out there in school that you don't know how to deal with, and you've tried and tried and tried and it's an issue. How you feel about this group. Tell me if there's something that you hate that I do every single week and you're just sick of it, or what you enjoy about this group, something that you really, really love every single week. What do you think we should do more of? What do you think we should do less of? Those are the kind of things I want to hear tonight. It doesn't have to be about this group. If you came tonight and you're just really struggling because you had a fight with your mom or your dad, you can say that too. Okay? Whatever it is that's on your heart that you want to say, I want you to be able to say it. And I want us to be able to listen And if you have something to say after someone's done speaking that you think will help them, feel free. Okay? But I don't want everybody talking at the same time. Do you guys get what we're trying to do tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. So I started, and I told you guys what's bothering me, and I was able to do it without any tears, so that's good. And we'll just go ahead this way around the circle. And if you don't want to say anything, just pass to the next person. It's all cool.
Pass.
Pass. Pass.
Pass.
Y'all are feeling it here.
This ain't working out that well.
No, it's not. Should start that way?
Yeah, you should
Pass.
That way.
Well, it's not really about the group, but a while ago I did get molested, and I've been having nightmares about it for the past 5 weeks, basically. And every time I come to this group, I don't feel so alone because I know some of you have been through what I've been through, and that's basically the reason I come, and to get better with myself.
Come on, you guys keep on passing. I want to get to know you all. You guys just like pass.
Me? Oh, Jessica. I guess Jessica.
Well, the only thing I'm really struggling with is that on the 23rd, it'll be 7 years since my grandpa died, and I didn't really get to know him since he had lung cancer for two years.
So it's been 7 years, and you still struggle with it?
Yeah, because I didn't get to know him. I was like 6 when he died, and then that same year my parents got their divorce.
Wow, you were 6. I can relate to that because Kyla's 6, and she just lost her sister, and sometimes I wonder if she's going to remember. But when you tell me something like that, it makes me know that she is going to remember. If you can remember your grandpa, and you're sad that you didn't get a chance to meet him or get to know him better. How do you deal with that every day?
Well, I usually don't remember, but whenever I do, I remember because it was a week before my brother's birthday. So usually I'll just like mope around or something.
Do you think there's maybe a better way for you to handle that?
Nothing I
Maybe
know.
you could do something special to honor his life. Do you ever go to his grave or anything?
I have once because we went and spread his ashes on his grave, and then me, my dad, and my brother are gonna go spread him at where they have the good guy car show or whatever.
Now, as far as getting to know him better, is there anyone in your family that can maybe help you get to know what he was like?
Not really, because my grandma always used to yell at him, and then my dad always did stuff that annoyed him, so.
So they don't really want to talk about him very much?
Not really.
So you really don't have anyone to talk about it then? Well, we're glad that you shared it with us. There's a lot of people, how many of you guys in here have dealt with death in your family? Almost every single person. That is a huge thing. I know this is an anti-bullying group, but it is also something for me to be able to help you guys with as much as you help me. Because I don't know about this whole death thing. You know, I mean, I've lost people before in my family that I haven't really been close to, but losing my daughter has been just completely different. So I struggle with it just as much as you guys do. And I know some of you have gotten up and told the stories that you've lost parents and things like that. I know that it hurts you. So when it gets to you, if you want to share something like that, please feel free to share how you are able to cope with it, because maybe it might be something that'll help me or help somebody else that's having a struggle with it themselves. Okay? Who's next?
Something's been bothering me. My brother's fiance just left him, and he told everybody in my family that he's giving up on life and he's going to drink himself to death.
How old is your brother?
26.
Does he live with you?
No, he never. And also he probably wants to do it because when my mom had him, he never knew his dad or anything like that, so he also had to struggle with that.
How many of you guys struggle with somebody you know that's suicidal or have struggled with that before? Okay? Yeah, Lauren, my daughter, was suicidal a lot. So I had to struggle with that a lot myself. That is a hard question. What do you say to someone like that? You know, what do you say? You hope that you'll say something that'll help them or to change their mind, but you feel helpless, don't you? I know that I did. Does he have someone that he can talk to that, not at all?
He doesn't really ever have anybody. He's bipolar and a sociopath, so he doesn't really keep people apart.
Does he get any kind of care for that, as far as medically or anything?
He used to, but he quit taking his medication a long time ago. And now all he's been doing is drinking. He's been probably passed out. He drinks until he passes out about every day. He goes to work drunk, everything.
And what do you try to do as far as, what do you think that you can do to help him? What do you try to do?
I don't really see him much, but I guess I
Worry?
what?
But you worry?
A lot.
Yeah. I would too.
I'm worried he's gonna like just kill himself, and I really don't want that to happen because I love my brother.
Sure you do. Yes? Rosie?
I definitely know what you're going through, and if you speak to me after this meeting, which I'll share about this when it comes back around, but my brother, he had very bad addictions and now is 6 months clean and changing his life. So if you talk to me, I can help you get your brother help. All right.
Thanks. Who's next?
I'll go. I guess I kind of don't expect my life to be like this because I pretty much had what I wanted all the time when I was little. And my dad broke his foot about 4 years ago, and he's had a bunch of surgeries for it, and he's doing a lot of, well, he was on a lot of like prescription medication for it. And over the summer, I was gone all the time because, well, last January, was like around Christmas and New Year's, my dad hit me, and I just didn't want to be around all the fighting with him and my stepmom. And I came home. I went to North Carolina for a week over the summer, and the day before I went back to my house to get some of the things I had forgotten because I was going with my mom. And I found my dad laying on his chair, and he was like out cold, and in front of him was like a TV dinner stand with all his medications and a bottle of Everclear. And I shook his arm and it just fell. And normally when you shake my dad to wake him up, he jumps. And I didn't know what to do, so I just went outside and called my stepmom. And a few nights before, they got into it, and she was trying to leave, and he kicked in her headlights and her taillights, and she backed out of the driveway and hit his foot, and he got her thrown in jail for domestic violence. So she wasn't allowed there, and she was the only person that I knew to turn to because I knew she would know what to do. So she told me to call 911, and then I called 911, but before I came back outside to call 911, inside he sounded like he woke up and he was talking to me, but he couldn't walk. He kept stumbling, and he was saying off the wall things that didn't make any sense. He told me that to be quiet because my stepmom was in bed, and that was just the day that she was getting bailed out of jail, so she was nowhere near the house. And he went on in the emergency room, and basically they told me that it wasn't an overdose or anything to do with the pills and alcohol. It was a mixture of 2 of the pills that he had been prescribed that messed with his body. So I was grateful for that, but it still haunts me. Just to think about it shakes me up because it's the worst experience that I ever went through.
And this was when?
Over the summer.
So how did that change you? Do you look at things differently now?
I think I'm a lot more worried about him, but I always try to stay away from my house because all the bad memories, and it makes me think how could people be so stupid and not care, you know what I mean, about what they're doing. He should have read the pill bottles, or the pharmacies or the doctors that prescribed them should have known.
So now you are how old?
18.
Okay, 18. And you have to worry about things like that.
My track.
Ronnie got bullied, and the bully that bullied him, Ronnie, told him to leave him alone, but he actually got in trouble for telling him to leave him alone, and Tristan got in trouble for calling him an idiot, but Tristan, the kid actually told them that he was going to kill them, but they got sent to the office for calling him an idiot, but he didn't get in trouble at all. That's
I think that's happened to a lot of. How many of you guys have stood up to a bully and you got in trouble? What the hell?
I do it all
the time.
I'll share the story in like 5 minutes.
Let me tell you something. That happens a lot, okay? First of all, yeah, he was wrong to call him an idiot. That's not rising above, okay? But that does happen a lot. However, I do want you guys to know that you do have a right to stand up for yourself. And that's why we have this group, so that you know what to do if somebody bullies you, okay? If you have to get in trouble for standing up for yourself, that's a pretty dang good reason to get in trouble, okay? You are not a doormat. None of you are, okay? So if someone tries to bully you, you have a right to stand up for yourself because you are an important person. Just as important as the person who bullies you. Yes?
Like self-defense?
Self-defense, yes. I'm not talking about knocking anybody out. However, I am talking about standing up for yourself and saying, wait a minute, I don't deserve to be treated that way. You don't talk to me that way. I don't disrespect you that way. You have no right to disrespect me that way. You have a right to use your words to stand up for yourself and not to be afraid to do that. Okay, so hopefully this group will help you guys, especially a lot of you younger ones. You gotta get him. All right, who's next? Rachel?
I guess I don't struggle with a lot other than the health issues that my dad has. From wrecking and stuff, but other than that, everything's good. And I'm gonna have to beat up a little kid in 5th grade if I can pick it on my nephew.
We don't do that here, okay?
Yeah. Okay, I'm good. You and Sarah will. No.
Okay, are you guys, Kevin, are you sharing?
No thanks.
What's wrong with everybody?
I know, right?
I actually have a lot going on. Well, for many of you that know me, I have a lot of issues with my mother, my biological one. I don't like to claim her, but anyways, she used to be very heavy and she used to be really nice until she started losing weight, and now she's like, she thinks she's like in high school or something. So she gets real mouthy and just like, she continues to tell you like all the time like things that are wrong with you, or like just things in particularly. But she blames me a lot for her dropping out of college to have me because she couldn't finish school with me, like that. And then also I still struggle with, I lost one of my best friends in March of 2010. And I still struggle with that all the time. So I feel like I need to call and talk to him, like all the time, but I can't. Like I still haven't erased his number off my phone yet. And I guess it's the same way with Lauren. I have struggled with that too, and I haven't erased her number off my phone either. So I guess I have really bad thing with death. And then also my friend Luke committed suicide on the New Year's Day. So I've kind of been a little bit kind of struggling with that to understand why exactly that happened. And,
Let me ask you something. If you did understand why, would it make it hurt any less?
no, but I feel like I could have, I still blame myself for Billy's death, so. Like I feel if I would have been less selfish and actually gone and hung out with him like I said I was going to, instead of having a bad day at work and going to a party instead, I feel like yeah, he would still be alive today.
Okay, I'm going to say something to you about Lauren then. It's my fault that she died because I let her go out with her friend that day. And she should have been with me. I should have made her go on the boat with us that day, and she would have never died. It's my fault. What do you have to say about that?
But it wasn't.
Huh?
But it wasn't.
And neither was it your fault, okay? So let me tell you, anybody that's struggling with anything like that, death is a hard thing to deal with, especially if you have feelings of guilt. Let me tell you one thing right now. There is no right or wrong way to grieve, and there is no magic number of months or years that you're supposed to grieve and then you're supposed to be done and over it. Every person has their own way of grieving. There's no rules for it, okay? But if you're struggling with feelings of guilt, the only person struggling with that is you because you're putting it on yourself. So that's something that you need to take care of with yourself. No one else is blaming you, Amanda, for what has happened. And no one blames me, okay? I don't even blame Billy, and he was the person driving, you know? There's no one to blame. When someone dies, it's because God called them home. It's because that was their last day on earth, and there was nothing anybody could do about it. Okay? You have a set number of days on this earth, and one of the things that this group is about is learning how to make the most of the days that you have. Because I think it caught a lot of us off guard when Lauren died. 16, you're not supposed to die when you're 16. You know, you're just not. And I hope that it woke some of you guys up to realize, hey, that could have been me. I could be the next one. You know, we are not guaranteed tomorrow. Some of you guys could go out tonight and get hit by a bus. I mean, who knows? You don't know. So it's important, very, very, very important, what you do with the days that you're given. And since you don't know you're going to be given another day, what have you done today to make a difference in someone's life? Amanda, you can't help what has happened in the past. You can't go back and change that. However, you have control over today, and you have control over what's going to happen in this moment. That's it. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, but you have this moment, and you sharing your story with us is your way of giving right now. Okay? Maybe that helps somebody here that we don't know, and you may never know. But maybe somebody will go home and say, you know what? My life isn't that bad. 3 of her friends have died, you know? Maybe somebody is going to make a change in their lives for the better tonight because of something that you said. So thank you. Next.
My turn? Well, I've only been married for 3 months, and I'm about to go through a divorce. So.
That's rough. Gosh, poor thing. So how are you dealing with that?
Ignoring him.
Okay, time out. My turn to help you. Number 1, Ben's my 3rd marriage, so I know how to ruin a marriage, okay? Let me tell you. But I've also learned how to hold one together. We almost split up the weekend that Lauren died. We were having so much trouble, okay? When you're married to somebody, it's not just your commitment to that person, it's your commitment to that person and to God. Saying, I promise I'm going to stay with this person. So when you feel like giving up on your husband, and you're just like, whatever, I don't care what you have to say, you have to stop and think, am I okay with giving up on God?
Well, I try to make it work, but he has a problem with me going into the Navy. So,
And
I'm not giving up something that's you know, he was my first commitment. This is was going to better our future, and he doesn't want me to.
So you are going to pick the Navy over your marriage then?
No, he says we argue too much and everything like that to stay with me, and I try to work it out, and he doesn't want to.
Well, it's hard to work something out when you're the only person that wants to work on it.
Yep.
Anybody else got anything to say on that? Relationships are hard. Yes, ma'am.
One situation, but I'm not married.
What's your situation?
I have thought about going to the Navy, and I've talked to our trigger and stuff, and Ryan doesn't want me to go.
Oh, I don't want you to go either.
The thing is, if there be a Navy nursing, that's what we want to do. So we'd be stationed in like either Virginia or San Diego in a hospital or on a boat 2 weeks of a year.
But let me just tell you on that note, first of all, the guys that want you to stay is because they love you. You know that. They love you. They want you in their life. They're afraid to lose you. Okay? But when you're in a relationship with someone, how many of you guys are in a relationship right now? Okay, some of you. When you're in a relationship, you're both
Farley.
I'm out. When you're in a relationship, okay, love is not about, oh, this person makes me feel good, okay? Love is about putting someone else's needs ahead of your own. And for you girls, you need to sit down and talk with your men, okay, about, we need to get on the same page about, I want to do what's best for you, but I also want you to do what's best for me, okay? And sometimes that means doing what's best for you as a couple, whether it means, you know, you're going to have a better shot at life, or whether it means you want to save your marriage. I'm not here to tell you what to do and what not to do, but I am here to say that the military is a very good option if you're out of options as far as what to do with your life. So my biggest piece of advice from someone who's been through too many marriages is talk it out as much as you can. Get some outside help if you can, because when you commit to marry somebody, that's really, really, really important. And trust me, when you break up a marriage, it's not the right thing to do, right? Never. Okay? All right, next.
I have a story. I want to start with the happy one, and then I want to go with the sad one.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was on this bus with Katie, and then all of a sudden, I heard this person from behind me say something like, oh no. So I sat there, and then he kept doing it, so I looked at him and was like, stop! And Miss Solomon was like, you can come up to the front of the bus and being loud. And then as I was getting up, he's like, you can move your fat A up there. And I was like, oh. So I turned around and I was like, oh. And then I was like, now I'm pissed. And then let me cross my legs like Miss Trigger. And then Miss Solomon's like, I told Miss Solomon, like, if you want to get in trouble or get someone in trouble, you can get the person in trouble that was bullying me. And she's like, well, I didn't hear it. I was like, I know dang well you heard it because you heard the person beside me cuss it. And you done said that. And I just knew she heard it and she chose not to. So then, get up there and she starts yelling at me. And I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, you're totally yelling at the wrong person. She's like, I have more things on my mind not to worry what people say to you. And I was like, and I have more things to worry about than sitting in the front seat when I did nothing wrong for sticking up for myself because nobody else would. So I sat down there and she starts screaming. I just put my headphones in and then. So then I get called down to the office today. And I guess I verbally abused her. Oh, wait, I forgot this part. Okay. I told her that people like her were 99.9% of the reason that people commit suicide because stop! Because she didn't do anything about it, and I know she sat there and heard it, and she listened to it, and she let it happen, and she instigated me.
Okay, so Allie, what would have been a better way to handle it than the way that you did?
I didn't mean for it to sound rude.
But it did sound rude. Time out, guys, this is important. It did sound rude. How many of you guys think that what Allie said did sound rude?
I know it sounded rude.
Okay, alright. So let me just tell you, I think the reason that you got in trouble was not because you got mad that you were being bullied and you stood up for yourself, but the reason you got in trouble is because you disrespected her, right?
I already know this.
Okay, then what should you have done differently? Let's help the little ones understand. What should you have done?
Kept your mouth shut.
Okay, but you wanted to stand up for yourself, right?
In a nicer way.
Okay, you could have stood up for yourself and then what?
Shut your mouth.
And still, this is important. This is important, guys. I want you to get this, okay? It's always right to stand up for yourself. However, okay, she could have said, you know what, I don't deserve to be treated that way. Then she could have sat down, and if the bus driver, was it the bus driver? Okay, the bus driver wanted to say something or get an attitude with her. She could have said, you know what, I would like to talk to you about this when we get to school if you don't mind. And she could have sat down politely, and then when we got to school and everybody got off the bus, the thing with standing up to people is you cannot make them look bad in front of other people. And that's why she got upset, okay? You made her look bad. You mouthed off to her and she looked bad, okay? That's why she was mad. So the next time that happens, for those of you who want to stand up for yourself, okay, you have to do it in the right manner. If you don't do it in the right manner, it's going to backfire, I promise you. All right? Go ahead.
Then I get to school, and Mr. King starts yelling at me. So I'm like, So I sat down in my chair, and he's like, you just need to stop talking. And I was like, okay. So I stopped talking, and then the person that did it didn't get in any trouble.
And sometimes that happens.
That happens.
But it doesn't matter, first of all, if the other person gets in trouble as long as you stand up for yourself. Because even if that other person doesn't get in trouble, you stand up for yourself, they're going to realize that they cannot pick on you. All right? You get that?
Yeah.
Does everybody else get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
I'm not done.
Oh, story then, ma'am.
I said I had a happy story and then I had a sad story.
Tell us your sad one.
That was a happy story. This is a sad story. Okay. I don't know where to start, so I'm going out of sequence order, okay? Okay.
We'll follow you.
Alright. Okay. So, May 20th, 2 days for my birthday, I lost my dad. And that was hard, really hard. And that still isn't okay for me. And then I'm just going to skip. It's still hard. And then over the summer, I lost my best friend, Lauren. And then last week, my mom, well, for about last 2 years, my mom suffered with what's called POTS syndrome. And basically, she has a heart problem, but it's really bad. Last week, she told me she went to the doctor and she got home and she told me that the doctor said that she was going to die. And I asked her how long, and she said they said that the hospital, for the specialist that does the hearts, they said that it's a year wait, and that if she didn't get it soon, she wasn't going to make it very long. So they said before the year, her heart will give out and won't be able to work anymore. And now I have to live every day with how many hours or minutes or seconds I get to see my mom, or how and I have to be careful what I do because I want to make everything right, and so I don't have any regrets when it happens. And I know people say that they can't tell a time on life, but I see my mom and I look at her and she's not the same person. I know when she's sick and she hides it, and I just know it's not her, and I know she's getting worse every day. So it's okay because I'm kind of able to prepare myself for it, instead of it just happening like my dad or with Lauren. But now every day I can just prepare myself for it in case something does happen, and just let her know every day that I love her, and so everything will kind of be okay. But when I lose her, it's going to be really hard because I don't know what's going to happen to me, or what's going to happen to my brother, or where I'm going to go. So yeah, that's my story.
Yes, Amanda?
You're never going to be really prepared to deal with something like that. Yeah. But you're always going to have that support circle from any of your friends. When my grandma died, it was kind of hard, and I still get depressed in November, because she died a couple of days after Thanksgiving. So I still get kind of emotional during that kind of holiday and stuff. So you're never really going to be prepared for it. But you always have that support circle and people you can lean on for support.
Yeah. I can say something else about that too. Is a lot of times, I don't know if the rest of you guys have dealt with this, those of you that have dealt with death, sometimes you don't want anybody to support you, you just want to be alone. And you just want everybody to leave you alone. And it's not that you dislike people, it's not that you hate anybody or anything. It's just that you just need time to process it on your own. And she's right. Amanda's right, Allie. You're never going to be fully prepared for it. However, I am glad that you recognize that you do have to make every moment count. And not everyone gets that opportunity. The day that Lauren died, I didn't even get to say goodbye to her when she left. She slept in, and we were going down to the Thornville parade, the 4th of July parade that they were having. And I didn't wake her up because y'all know Lauren, she loves sleep. And I didn't wake her up, I let her sleep, and when I came back, she was out the door with her boyfriend and on her way, and that was that. And I never had a chance to say goodbye to her. And I regret that. So be thankful for the time that you do have with your mom. We'll pray for her to get better, and hopefully she does, but if she doesn't, you need to make sure that you don't have regrets. And that's what I hope for each and every person here. We'll be here to support you.
If you know someone's going to die, it's easier to deal with it than it is if you don't know. Because you can say things to those people. I knew a man, he knew he was going to die. He had 4 months to live. And he said he took that time and spent that with his family and got his family reunited. He had kids that lived out of state